sexual reproduction, which is common in higher plants and animals, is a far more complicated and elaborate process than asexual reproduction. This form of reproduction essentially involves the fusion of male and female gametes, produced by reproductive structures such as the strobili, stamen, and pistil in the case of plants, and testes and ovaries in animals. Interestingly, while some organisms are endowed with both male and female reproductive structures, others possess only one of either reproductive structure. For instance, gymnosperms such as pinus possess both male and female strobili and are called bisexual or monoecious plants. Cycas, on the other hand, has the male and female strobili growing on different trees and is known as a dioecious or unisexual plant. Angiosperms too comprise a variety of monoecious and dioecious plants. For instance, the coconut tree is considered a monoecious plant, where a single tree bears the staminate, the stamen-bearing unisexual male flower, and the pistillate, the female flower bearing the pistils. Even the pea plant is a monoecious plant, as both the stamen and pistil are present on the same flower. Papaya, on the contrary, is a dioecious plant that bears staminate and pistillate flowers on different trees. Did you know that we come across bisexual and unisexual organisms even in fungi? Bisexual fungi, such as the straw mushroom, bear the male and female gametangium, the plus and the minus mating type, on the same thallus. Hence, these types of fungi are also known as homothallic. This is in contrast to heterothallic fungi, such as Rhizopus, which bears the male and female gametangium, that is, the plus and minus mating type, on different thallus. Apart from fungi, we also see unisexual and bisexual organisms in the animal kingdom. The earthworm, which has both testis and ovary, is bisexual in nature. Did you know that bisexual animals are also called hermaphrodites? Human beings, on the other hand, are unisexual organisms, as each individual possesses either the male or female reproductive organ. Regardless of whether organisms are unisexual or bisexual, reproductive structures play an important role in sexual reproduction, a process that's divided into three distinct stages, namely the pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization stage. The pre-fertilization stage is the first stage in sexual reproduction and includes gametogenesis and gamete transfer, events that occur prior to the fusion of gametes. Gametogenesis refers to the process of formation of the haploid male and female gametes due to cell division in the parent body. The type of cell division is decided by the nature of the parent body. Haploid organisms such as moss, a type of bryophyte, produce gametes by undergoing mitotic division. Apart from bryophytes, other haploid organisms belonging to fungi and algae too produce gametes by mitotic division. However, diploid organisms such as pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, as well as most animals, including human beings, possess specialized gamete mother cells called myocytes that undergo meiosis or reduction division, forming haploid gametes. These haploid gametes aren't morphologically similar, and hence they are called heterogametes. Moreover, while the male gamete is called the antherozoid or sperm, the female gamete is called the egg or ovum. Most sexually reproducing organisms, including human beings, are heterogametic, which means their gametes are heterogametes. However, in the case of some algae such as cladophora, the gametes are so strikingly similar that it is not possible to categorize them as male and female gametes. Such gametes are therefore called homogametes or isogametes. Regardless of whether they are homogametic or heterogametic, the formation of gametes is followed by gamete transfer, a process during which male gametes are brought in proximity with female gametes. In the case of algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, water acts as a medium for such gamete transfer. The motile male gametes produced by these plants make use of water currents to reach the stationary female gamete. However, during this process, many male gametes either die or fail to reach their destination. To overcome this lacuna, most plants produce several thousand male gametes to ensure that at least some of them reach the female gamete. While water facilitates the transfer of gametes in lower plants, wind, bees and insects facilitate the transfer of gametes in higher plants, including angiosperms. In these plants, the anther contains pollen grains which contain the male gametes. The female gamete, on the other hand, lies inside the ovule, a part of the ovary, which together with the style and stigma comprises the pistil. For fertilization, it is necessary for pollen grains to be deposited on the stigma so that they reach the embryo sac. This deposition occurs in different ways in different plants. In the case of monoecious plants, such as the pea plant, the anther sheds the pollen grains soon after they have matured, which then fall on the stigma. In the case of dioecious plants, the transfer of pollen grains to the stigma takes place through pollination, a process in which wind, insects or bees deposit the pollen on the stigma. These pollen grains then germinate and produce a pollen tube that contains the male gametes. This tube penetrates the stigma and style to reach the ovule, where the male gametes are discharged. While plants depend on water and wind for gamete transfer, unisexual animals such as human beings have developed a special mechanism called copulation for gamete transfer. Thus, whether in animals or plants, gamete transfer and gametogenesis are the two main events that occur in the pre-fertilization stage of sexual reproduction.